Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel, guys. You've got Bert and Lanny, your favorite dividend investors out here, ringing in the new year. New year, new you. New year, new dividend stocks, right? We're talking here about my top 5 companies I own. Are these potentially stocks to buy right now?
Take that 5, make a fist, and then smash that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Holler at your boys, the Dividend Diplomat. Guys, this is the first video we're recording in 2025, so you know what that means? If you get this video to 300 likes, we're going to do a swag contest here. So 500 likes, 300 likes, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment in there. Which of these 5 stocks that Lanny owns that are his largest are your favorite?
Let's get down to business. I ain't got time to play around. All right, guys, it's 5 of my top, not holdings, but largest companies I own by market capitalization, which is shares outstanding times stock price. And no, NVIDIA, Apple stock, Microsoft stock, Tesla stock, they are all not on this list, guys. But we are starting with we're going to go from the largest company I own to the 5th largest company I own. We're going to look at the quick DD stock screener again, as Bert has always mentioned: PE ratio, payout ratio, dividend growth, dividend yield. And we're going to decide, even though they're some of the largest companies, are they stocks to buy right now? So Bert, the first one standing strong in my portfolio that I've held ever since even before the first dividend increase for this stock. I've held this one for, almost 15 years. We are talking about $620 billion market cap company, Visa, flying V, ticker symbol V.
Ducks fly together. Ducks fly together. Get that flying V.
And prices are as of the end of the year.
Perfect. So these are trading prices before the market opens here in 2025. So Visa, taking a look at their price here, they're at $316.04. Over the last 5 years, they're up 67%. So they've had some pretty solid appreciation over this run. Last year, they increased 22%. So pretty strong performance here for Visa. You can't really complain.
Yeah, not bad for Visa, lagging just slightly the S&P 500. They are up 67% as well over the last 5 years. So you've done okay over the last 5. But yeah, again, the P is at 28, so pretty much in line with the stock market, slightly higher.
Yeah, their payout ratio, they're always going to be lower yielding. The payout ratio is at 21%. Looking at their dividend history and their dividend metrics here, Lanny, this is where they really shine. Their 5-year dividend growth rate is 15.46%, and they are over halfway to becoming an aristocrat. They've increased that dividend for 15 consecutive years.
I am loving that dividend growth on Visa stock. One of the main reasons why, I continue to hold and own Visa stock. It hasn't really showed too many signs of slowing down, always delivering double-digit bangers, guys. So there we have it, a 28 PE, 21% payout ratio. They are yielding higher at 0.75%, higher than their 5-yield average at 0.67. So that gives you a little bit of hope that maybe it's a good time to buy this stock. I do like Visa, Bert, but it would probably have to come down maybe in like the 275 range.
Yep, I agree. This probably isn't the window to buy Visa right now. But it's a great company. If you're looking for one of those companies where you say, I don't care about getting it at the cheapest price, you want it to just buy a high quality stock that you know is going to be great for decades, Visa at a 28 PE is in that kind of category.
I thought you were about to say, I can jump, or like, please jump, and you ask how high, or something ridiculous.
Oh God, no.
But that's the first stock, guys. Second largest company that I own in my stock portfolio, guys. Again, these are 5 massive companies that, for the most part, I think everybody's heard of, especially the second stock. We're going to the consumer brand staple here, brushing your teeth, as Bert just smiled there. Crest toothpaste. We're talking about Proctor and Gamble, ticker symbol PG, 400 billion market cap.
Yeah, you'll have to see if we can edit in the little ping like at the end of the teeth.
The little sparkle.
Yeah, PG is one of our top 5 foundation stocks for your portfolio. We both own it. I love this company. Procter and Gamble over the last 5 years is up 36%. So it's trailing the S&P 500, up 12% in 2024. So not a bad year for Procter Gamble by any stretch.
No, it's probably had, in the middle of that 5-year term, even that, yeah, they're up 37% over 5 years. They had some strong
Yeah,
performing years. They're
100%.
kind of flattening out a little bit, even though they're still up 13% this year. But what we'll see is when we get through the metrics, there's one metric that's kind of been a little bit of a brighter spot lately for this company. But the PE ratio right now, trading at 167.65, is 24 times earnings. So, in line with the market, I would say, essentially.
Yeah, their payout ratio is at 58%, so that's below our 60% threshold, which is
Mhm.
perfect. And that is one that has definitely come down over the years too, because PG's had some years where it's above 60%, even touching 70.
Right. Yeah, and then they've been delivering dividend increases for 70 plus years, which is why they're in Bert's portfolio, they're in my portfolio, and they are a top 5 foundation stock. But the best part now has been that 5-year growth rate. It has now climbed up to over 6% because they have had some nice dividend increases over the last about 3 years, really coming out of that 2 to 4% growth rate into like this, 6 to 10% growth rate now over the last few years.
And you guys might not think that matters, but that's huge for Procter and Gamble.
Yeah.
That's a massive pick.
For a company with low margin, high volume products, that is phenomenal.
100%. And their yield is at 2.4%, just a hair above their 5-year average yield of 2.32%.
Yeah, so there we have it, guys. I mean, 395 billion in market cap, 24 PE, 58% payout ratio, 6% growth rate, 70 years of doing it, yielding just over their 5-year yield, kind of like Visa.
Yeah.
Um,
Beautiful.
I like the stock, maybe if it may again, but it's not a bargain price right now. And, we like to find undervalued stocks. So I would say probably around that 150-ish mark.
I would agree. I think that's true. It's the same thing I said with Visa, is the same thing that applies here. It's not the cheapest, but it's a high quality stock.
High quality H2O, because when you want to invest, especially going in 2025, you guys remember, I'm looking for those foundational core positions, and PG would definitely be right up there.
That's right. So let's move into number 3. Another one of our top 5 foundation stocks for your portfolio. We're talking big old reliable Johnson and Johnson, ticker symbol J&J. What's wild, Lanny? I always forget how large of a company Johnson & Johnson is. They have a $348 billion market cap. So after all their noise, after all the split offs here, they still have a massive market cap.
Yeah, despite being down even 10% this year and pretty much having zero performance in the last 5 years, Bert. So it's pretty wild that they still are rocking at 350 billion market cap.
I agree. So let's see how they look at here at the metrics. That price to
Yeah.
earnings ratio. This one's actually what always it keeps me interested in J&J right now. Their P ratio is at 14.52x, which is always below that historical mark for J&J, which you usually see in between that 16 to 18 PE range.
That's right. Got to like that PE ratio. And then the payout ratio gets even better, better than PG's at 58%. J&J's is at 49.8, 50% smack dead in the middle. Got to
Beautiful.
love it. But what's that dividend growth look like for good old J&J?
5-year growth rate's 5.54%. They've increased that divvy for 61 years.
Another dang rocket. And now they yield 3.43%, which is why the stock has to be on a radar for dividend growth investors. Again, because they're yielding over that 2.8% 5-year dividend yield average because they've been flat/down over the last few years for J&J stock.
Beautiful. Wow. So their yield, yeah, that 3.4, that is freaking phenomenal for Johnson & Johnson. So the others, Visa, Procter Gamble, were above that price to earnings ratio, Lanny. Target range. Johnson & Johnson's a different story. It's lower. What is your price target for J&J?
It's a good buy zone here. Obviously, do your own research, not professional advice, but I think this is a good buy zone here. A stock that I may be adding to here to ring in that new year.
Love it. All right, that's number 3, Johnson & Johnson. Number 4, same sector, Abbvie, ticker symbol Abbvie. Freaking love this company.
Yeah. It's amazing that they're, over 300 billion market cap, 315 to be precise. Had kind of a similar year like PG had, up 11% this year, but they're actually up 100% in the last 5 years, which is how they've been able to climb in the market cap spot here. Trading at $177.70. The PE ratio right now, based on that earnings, is 16.24. So Not too bad actually for a high performing stock as of late.
Not at all. Their payout ratio is 60% too. So it's right at that top part of our 60% range, but that's perfect. That is money that still gives them plenty of room to keep reinvesting and doing R&D on new prescriptions.
Yeah, with the payout ratio at 60%, though, dividend growth, has slowed for Abbvie recently. The 5-year average now is 7.72%. So I would expect still that 4 to 7% range for the next couple of years. But they've been increasing the dividend now for 10 years, ever since they split off from Abbott Labs.
Yeah. So let's look at their yield, 3.69%. It's actually below their 5-year average yield of 3.84%. So it's the first one on this list where you've seen the yield actually lower than their 5-year average.
Yep. Again, great stock. I don't think this is one to buy right now. Not saying it's too expensive. Just think that there's better value out there, next to its counterpart J&J. But, maybe if they shaved, again, because the yield needs to be a little bit higher. But, if they shaved down to 160, you probably like them.
Yeah, that would put the yield well above 4% at like
Yep. There you
4.1%.
go.
So I agree. I'm there with you on that one. So last
Nice.
but not least, let's leave the farm sector, lady. You want to do honors with this last one?
We're getting into tech
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah, tech-ish, safe, cybersecurity play, Cisco, ticker symbol CSCO. I also own this stock and I love them. I forget how large their market cap is too. At 235 billion. They're up 24% over the last 5 years. Last year, they're up 17%. So they really picked up a lot of that 5-year gain in 2024 where they rebounded
Yeah.
out of that funk.
Yeah, really, really picked it up here in 2024, having one of their better years, despite still lagging the S&P 500, but being the second best performer on this list of the 5 largest companies I own. So Cisco trading at $59.61 as of the end of the year. PE ratio is looking pretty tight at about 16 right now on the PE ratio, Bert.
Yeah, their payout ratio is at 43%, which is very low for a tech company, which is actually great to see. Love it. That should give them plenty of room to grow that dividend going forward.
12 years of growing dividends now, albeit it's been a very low dividend growth, for Cisco, very lower growth in general for Cisco, the company. So you get about a 3% dividend growth rate right now with Cisco stock.
Yeah, but they're recovering out of it. So maybe this is the time when now we're in 2025, you start to see that strong growth. Their yield is at 2.68%, which is below their 5-year average yield at 2.89%. So, hey, again, room to catch it up with this dividend increase.
Absolutely. Again, they're up. They're 235 billion in market cap. They have a 16 PE, 44% payout ratio. Been doing it for 12 years, but yielding below that 5-year historic average. I usually like Cisco at or near the $50 mark. I know that's a steep ask, but that's kind of where I would be highly interested. Maybe 52-ish below.
Yeah. Hey, that's not bad. Let it fall down a little bit. So again, the 5 stocks: Visa, Procter Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, Abbvie, and Cisco. And as a reminder, only one of those 5 are currently in a buy zone here for Lanny. That is Johnson & Johnson, ticker symbol JNJ.
So let us know, guys, which are your top 5 stocks you own from a market cap standpoint, the largest companies. Which of these 5 in my portfolio do you like? Remember to like and subscribe the video and comment below to enter the swag giveaway to get us to 300 likes so we can give away some New Year swag.
Yes, and everyone, for the first time in 2025, what are we going to tell everybody, Lanny?
Happy New Year?
Yeah, I guess
No, that's not it.
that
That's not it.
right, does it?
What are you going to say? What are you going to tell
You're either with us or you're against us, Jack.
them? That was Bert the Hurt and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.